This is the simplest way to make 14,000 a month trading in 66 days. This will be a step-by-step blueprint, assuming you start with a little bit of capital to invest, because we'll be leveraging prop firms. So this is not a get-rich-quick scheme or account flipping. This will be leveraging prop firms based on actual mathematics. And you guys will see that in this video. What we'll go over is specialized knowledge, repeatable system, data collection, risk management, leveraging prop firms, and scaling to 14K a month. And this all in 66 days. If you don't know who I am, I've helped over 50 mentees get funded and payouts, over 7 figures in funding myself with consistent weekly payouts, all documented. And I've not only achieved 10K per month, but also 10K weeks for a while. So I think I'm qualified enough to talk about this. Without further ado, let's get straight into business as per usual. Now, a quick caveat, you are not hitting 10,000 or 14,000 a month in 66 days as a beginner, because you need to go through the valley of despair phase before you wake up and realize what I'm telling is the truth. So if you're a newbie, then you can just skyrocket your learning curve by just listening to me right now and leaving your ego at the door. But if not, then I will explain why you probably will go through the peak of Mount Stupid, as you guys can see in this picture right here. So once you lock in, it's extremely simple to reach 10 or 14K per month consistently based on simple maths, as you will see in this video or document if you're reading it. So what is the Dunning-Kruger effect? The Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias where people with low ability in a specific area overestimate their competence, while highly skilled individuals often underestimate theirs. But why do people with low ability in a specific area overestimate their competence? Well, this is because their incompetence robs them of the self-awareness needed to recognize their own shortcomings. So let me explain in Ooga Booga language. Dumb people think they're smart, while smart people got humbled that they don't think they're as smart as they are. That's why smart people sometimes get imposter syndrome. Now let's look at the visual representation. At the x-axis, we have competence from knowing nothing all the way to guru. And at the y-axis, we have low confidence all the way up to high confidence. So as you guys can see, the people that barely know anything are extremely confident in their subject. Why? Because you don't know what you don't know. So because they don't know what they don't know, they assume they know everything, while there's a vast majority of information out there which they have never known about, just because they're so dumb to realize that the world is that big. Like their ego is holding them back, is clawing them back. So they are confident in being dumb, but they're just limiting their own life because they don't realize that they could learn way more. So once you're in peak of Mount Stupid, what you can see if we extrapolate this to our trading journey, a lot of people get a lucky streak, they get some payouts, they feel on top of the world, they up their risk management, they gamble and make some more payouts, and boom, lose it all and more. And this right there is the valley of despair, where you learn your true self. That's where you're going to see who you actually are. And then in the valley of despair, you get stripped away from your ego. You finally realize you're a bum. And when you realize that, you can slowly get out of this rut right here. And if you just follow this video, you don't even have to go to peak Mount Stupid, because I did that for you. So you can just listen to me and enjoy your life, because the valley of despair is hurtful. So, and then slow by slow, you learn new information and you apply actual proper information, which will elevate you to greater heights. And we call that the slope of enlightenment. And that's a beautiful part in your journey, by the way. You're extremely humble and you're learning at exponential speeds. And at the end, we have our plateau of sustainability. Using some big words right here. You already know how I'm rocking. And right there, you just have a consistent baseline which you can easily hold. Now, in this video, we'll be using averages to do the calculations and examples, which do not particularly account for short-term swings in your trading results, but in the long run, the calculations will even out. So for the skeptical people or the crying people or the nerds, I know that we are using averages in this video, but we just do that so we can explain how simply we can scale with prop firm. Now, if you are someone that's a geek, just click off the video because it is not for you. But if you're someone that can think about the longer term without the accounting all the swings possible and all the extreme scenarios, Monte Carlo scenarios, whatever you may want to call them. I'm not going to do all those simulations. I'm just going to use a average because I have something better to do. And I can drop some crazy value without doing all these simulations. So let's get straight through it. So it can even take shorter depending on how the probabilities play out in the long term, or longer for the geeks. As I said, it is all probabilities at the end, and we all know that, but we are going to use averages in this video. 10,000 per month is not some hard magical number to achieve. You just simply have to follow a step-by-step plan day by day. So if you're a newbie, you might need to hone your critical thinking skills, like I said right here in the Dunning-Kruger effect, and stop getting misled by fake trading gurus. Because if you consume the wrong content, you will act in the wrong manner, which will inevitably lead to wrong results. This is just common sense. Hence why I see so many people defending fake trading gurus. That's just the peak of Mount Stupid. But you can't blame them. They're ignorant. They don't know that they don't know. And that's fine. I believed some traders were real too. And now I'm a real trader. I realized like 99% fake. So there's that. Specialized knowledge. In life, you get paid in proportion to the specialized knowledge you can successfully apply. Keyword, apply, because most of you guys read, watch videos and never apply. So if you are able to sort your trading knowledge into a repeatable model and execute it, then money will start flowing to you. This is just common sense. If you are able to execute a repeatable model, you will make demo money, because this is never financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. So what I want you to do right now is to list all the trading information you've learned, and then note down how much of those you're applying on a day-by-day basis. And then you'll quickly see you've consumed more than enough to become the best profitable trader alive, but you're not even using all the information. You're not making any demo money because you haven't sorted this information in a framework which you can repeatedly use day by day. This is the case for most traders because they are stuck in this perpetual loop of learning, and this gives them a fake sense of accomplishment, because knowledge without application doesn't bring any result. You can learn all you want, you can watch all the videos you want in the world, but they won't bring you results until you apply them. So if you already get triggered and cope right here, if you cope and say like, nah, I'm smarter than that. I'm gonna make some payouts with just concepts. I'm just gonna gamble up and down. I'm gonna go with the river of the market, blah, 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 blah. Bro, I got some bad news for you, bro. It ain't that simple. You need a repeatable model. Now, I don't remember where I was with reading, but so this is the case with most traders. They are stuck in this continuous loop of learning, which gives them a fake sense of accomplishment, because knowledge without application does not bring results. Otherwise, you would already have those results and not be watching me. And it's okay to watch me. Take the knowledge and run with it. Apply it in your own life, and you don't need to watch any videos anymore, okay? Usually learning is just procrastination disguised as progression to these people to feed their egos. Now, if you want to learn, then learn repeatable, applicable systems and not concepts. And this will take you 0 days because you probably already have enough information. You need to unlearn stuff probably. So you're going to see at the end of this document that it actually takes 66 days to get to 40K a month if you just stick to it. Now, we need a repeatable trading system. As I said, if you are able to sort your trading knowledge into a repeatable model and execute it, then money will start flowing to you. You can even go further into detail and generate daily systems for your life. For example, routines. Damn, let me remove that. Like pre-market routine, post-market routine, post-execution, end of day, end of week routines. But for now, we'll focus on a single trading system, which you will stick to every single day. So there are two options right here, which you can do, and you can choose them yourself. Either you learn a proven working model, and I'm going to suggest me as your mentor because I'm the best. And make sure, if you don't learn from me, and even if you learn from me, make sure you validate the data yourself and not blindly believe everything. Or second of all, you can generate your own proven model through reverse engineering the charts and/or your winning trades based on the trading information you already have. And if you reverse engineer your winning trades, I'm telling you, they will always have the same parameters because the market runs on certain aspects which are obvious if you just study enough. But if you don't want to study and you want to just learn from me, Hey, you can also do that, or any other mentor. It's up to you. Let me take a sip of my drink, man. This is some long video. This is gonna be a long video packed with insights. Y'all be ready. So if you choose to generate your own model, then I suggest you don't dive into the rabbit hole and try to create a perfect model. Because 80% well done is better than 100% perfect. There are certain points you get compensated too little for your effort, which I will show in a graph in a bit. So if you have a repeatable system with one set TP slash stop loss variable, then you're already well ahead of the whole industry because they don't even have a model. And as you can see in this graph right here, the extra effort will just lead to less results. Hence why we focus on executing after having a model and not staying in this perpetual loop of refinements. Some people have journals with 50 pages, but they don't have 50 pages of payout. Make it make sense. So let's go over this graph right here. The x-axis is effort, the y-axis is results. As you guys can see in the beginning, we are extrapolating this into creating a model. When you start creating a model, I'm giving you some tasks. So narrative creation, bias creation, no time frame validation, time validation, SMT validation, etc. When you create all those parameters and rules for your model, because the model is coming from nothing into something, the first results are going to be huge. But then once you start continuing with these results and continuously refining, at a certain point, it's just not worth to refine it anymore. Like if you refine it so deeply that you want to only trade a certain hour or a certain sweep, a certain market maker model, or internal to external, whatever the case may be, at a certain point, the results are just not worth the headache. So then you just stick to your simple model because you know that if you put all the effort into refining it, first of all, you can over refine it, which then will cause you to have no trades, which then will cause you to get no demo money, or you can be lazy and literally do nothing, but I don't assume that. Because if you make a model with rules, then you already are at this 80-20 rule. And after that, just leave it and focus on mastering the model in live markets. Alright? Because at a certain point, it's just not worth to learn more about trading. Just execute and enjoy your life. Because we are here to make some demo money. At least I am. I came into this industry because I wanted to make some easy money. Right? So once I have mastered what I need, I'm just chill. I'm lazy by nature, bro. I had to learn myself how to work every single day. So if I have my systems in place, I'm going to work less finally. So this will take 4 days. What will take 4 days? Creating and or learning a repeatable trading model. So total 4 days. Why 4 days? We had 0 days right here. And then 0 plus 4 is total 4 days. And you guys will see this actually getting to 40K a month takes 66 days. Now, obviously, after we have our model, I'm pretty sure no one does this because otherwise not everyone would be this unprofitable. Collect data on your model, please. And I'm going to give you my journal so you have no excuse anymore. Obviously, it won't be my personal journal. It will be just a public bare bones one. But if I ask you this, would you rather trust someone that has done one thing thousands of times or someone that has done 1,000 things just once? Obviously, you would pick the person that has done one thing thousands of times. So why are you trading 5 million models and 5 million concepts? It makes no sense. Why don't you master one repeatable system and stick to it so you can finally change your life? If one of the greatest NBA players, and you already know how I'm rocking, man, I love Kobe, no Diddy. So if Kobe Bryant is making 600 to 800 foundational shots per session in the offseason, then why aren't you mimicking the greats of other sectors and doing the same thing in trading? So if we extrapolate hitting shots in trading, we can think about backtesting and journaling, right? And executing your trades obviously as well, in demo for example. But why aren't you just focusing on backtesting and journaling trades? when that is literally all we have to do. Master the model, execute. That is trading. Trading is not watching videos. Trading is not watching podcasts. Trading is not reading books. Trading is not talking about trading. Trading is not refining your journal. Trading is not journaling all day about your emotion like a little bit. It is executing a proven model and then getting the feedback. If you broke your rules, for example, you instantly get feedback right there. And that's where you learn. So, this is some. I asked AI real quick to verify if the numbers are true, how much shots could be made. And it is, because he said it in interviews. And his trainer for 15 plus years also said he makes 600 to 800 shots, sometimes pushing it up to 1,000 when conditioning. So, like, obviously, we can't compare shooting a 3-pointer into journaling a trade, because journaling a trade takes longer. But to be honest, you guys aren't even journaling for 10 minutes a day. So wake up, journal. Come on, man. Like, come on. Like, I'm giving you all the sauce, just do it. So the foundation of things will elevate you exponentially at a certain point in your career. It makes no sense whatsoever to go into the minute details. What I'm trying to say, like, crazy. What I'm trying to say right here is that the foundational things, like backtesting and journaling, will elevate you exponentially. Okay? Not reading books, etc. Just backtesting and journaling are the foundations in trading. At a certain point in your career, it makes no sense to go into the minute details, like refining your TP, refining your entry, refining your drawdown. You can do that later. But the results, like I said in this graph right here, is just not worth the effort. So if you know that it is not worth the effort, you will focus on other things that are high ROI, correct? Correct. So after this video, I want you to really do an audit on your life and remove every single task that doesn't bring you closer to your goal. If you can't say that it brought you closer to getting profitable, you don't do it. The foundation is knowing a model, executing, done. That's it. As I said, the returns are just so extremely low in comparison to the results, so it is not worth it. So I've personally journaled so much that I got so bored of it. You can't even imagine it unless you have journaled the same amount of trades, so thousands of trades. Yet I do it every single day, and every single week I review the whole week to see if my bias maybe missed some trades. So if I can advise you one thing to take from this video / document, even if it's just one thing, then it is just to focus on high intensity repetition of the high ROI tasks that set you apart from everyone. So the things that are so boring and annoying and hard to do that no one wants to do them. No one wants to wake up early. No one wants to trade a model. No one wants to stick to their rules. No one wants to wait for their model. No one wants proper risk management. And this document gives them all to you. And then you just can shut your mouth, execute, and enjoy your life. So in basketball, it's shots made. In trading, it's trades caught, not analyzing, not refining, not seeking shortcuts. No, the basic foundational trades that yield an abundance of returns. Not getting 10 RR, not getting 50 RR trades, just simple 2 RR trades. As you guys can see, this is my journal right here. But I'm going to give y'all another journal and let's go through it. And just because I love y'all, I forgot to write no diddy. We can't say love y'all without no diddy, right? There is a free journal that should be enough for you. Can't leak the full journal like this one right here with all the columns, but those are available in the mentorship. So if you go through the journal right here, you put in your week number, if the trade is worth or not, you win, loss, no fill, BE, blah, 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 and then it automatically creates a check right there. Then if you put the date and the end hours, it will automatically calculate that. So you don't even have to do that either. As you see right here, the day you get automatic, session automatic. Now here I've removed a lot of columns, but I let this one in because it's important you journal your model. Now I've deleted the info right here because I don't want to leak all my models. But then we have internal to external, which is basic ICT knowledge. You put your entry chart, H1 chart, daily chart. Then you put your low time frame validation. And if you use intermarket analysis, you can put multiple markets. What sweep occurred. And then right here is the sauce that I'm going to be giving y'all. But let's go over low probability conditions first. So pick your low probability conditions. Maybe you can see a correlation between lower win ratio and low probability conditions. There's a gem. Now, let's go to the chart right here. I'm gonna draw a unicorn for you. And then I'm gonna put the position tool right here because we'll need that. So, how I journal my trades. If this is a trade I caught, it doesn't matter if this is going to continue up or not. We just think that it ended right here. So the trade ended here, the highest point of the trade. What I do with my trades always, you guys know I love entering on the unicorns, but I don't always do that. I sometimes enter earlier or later. But right here, y'all gonna get some sauce. Just focus up. Let me get, because I'm getting excited and this is just some crazy sauce. So the manipulation lag, in my opinion, is this lag right here. Okay. So this unicorn is the manipulation lag. And I always journal the amount of pips that it is. So it is 6 pips. You can see it right here on the tool. 6 pips. Now we know it is 6 pips, right? Then what I journal is I take this, hold control, and the trade would have just gonna filled by 0.1 pips. So I put right here on the drawdown pips into manipulation lag is 0.1. And then we automatically get a calculation of how much drawdowns in percentage points we endured. And this way you can refine your model to another level, right? And then the total move in pips after the manipulation lag is this right here. Oops, I'm trying to take that. This right here, okay? So this, everything above the manipulation lag, all the way to the highest point of the day is my total move in pips after the manipulation lag. So right here, that will be 24.2, as you guys see right here on my mouse, right here. You see? 24.2, and I put 24.2 right here. And we simply get how much move divided by manipulation it would be. In simple terms, this would be our RR if we enter on the break right here, where I put my dot. Right? And this way, you have a beautiful journal for yourself. Just enjoy. I just gave y'all the sauce right here. Now let's get back to our document. What I want you to do is collect trades on your data, and I want you to get 100 trades. It will take you 5 days if you just work hard. So in total, it will take you 9 days. So what will take you 9 days? First of all, we go over your knowledge. It takes you 0 days because you already have too much. And a repeatable system takes you 4 days. And then collecting data takes you 5 days. So a total of 9 days. And then we create a risk management plan based on your trading data. We will use the win ratio and average RR we got from the data to calculate our expectancy per trade in RR. What that means in simple terms, in Ooga Booga terms, we want to know how much RR we make on average per trade, and we do that based on this formula. So in this example, we are using a trading model with 70% win ratio, 2 RR return per win, 1 RR risk, which is 1 RR loss if you lose. Let me put that in brackets. Trade frequency is 2 per day. So if we put that in this formula right here, we get an average of 1.1 R per trade. Now, if we have a trade frequency of 2 trades per week, like I said right here, we just do 2 times 1.1, because on average we will return 1.1 RR per trade, which will give us 2.2 RR per week on average. Now, a risk management plan, I literally just made it for you. You can make this in 1 minute, but I'm gonna give you 1 day. So in total, 10 days. Now, leveraging prop firms. Let me take a little sip of my drink. This is about getting our first 100,000 in funding, because I said we'll be leveraging prop firms, and then we'll use that 100,000 to get more capital, and then 40K a month. As most of you know, there are these companies called prop firms, which will give you an 80% profit split, depending on the firm, if you pass a test proving you can handle demo capital. Now, I'm not affiliated with any firm, but as we all know, the giant and the longest standing in the industry, as far as I know, is FTMO. I will keep this extremely conservative, going over how we will scale from 100,000 funding to 14,000 net profits per month. If you stick to this plan in the long run, as I'll be using averages in this example, so don't cry and say it isn't realistic. is realistic if you stick to it in the long run without being a gambling crackhead. So the two-step program of FTMO consists of hitting 10% in phase 1 and 5% in phase 2 before you get the live account. As I said, we'll scale from a 100,000 account and they cost 515 currently, US dollars. Now for the people that don't have 515 US dollars to their name, I'm not going to give it to you. For the people that got excited, I'm not going to do a giveaway. Naji, go and get a job. And if you're from a country where it's hard to afford a 100,000 account, I understand that. I totally understand that. Just use my calculations and scale up from a 5,000 account. Capiche? Capiche. Now, the calculations for phase 1. Let's get it. Now, this might be too high. Look into the rules for the firms, but we will use this example for now. And if you get risk limited, it's your own fault because this is never financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research. If we risk 2.5% per trade, it would mean we get 2.75% return per trade. Why? Because 2.5% risk time 1.1. Why 1.1? Because 1.1 was, if you remember, the return per trade that we calculated. That means we have a 2.75% return per trade. Now, if we divide it by 10% from the FTMO phase 1, it would mean we need on average 3.64 trades to pass it. Now, let's round that up for easiness sake. It will take you on average 4 trades to pass phase 1 on 2.5% risk. With 2 trades per week on average, that will take you 2 weeks in total to pass phase 1. Simple as. Then we have our calculations for phase 2. If you win 1 trade on 2.5% risk, you have passed the account. If you lose 1, then win 2, you pass the account. If you lose 2, then win 2, you pass the account. If you lose 3 and win 3, you pass an account. See how simple? 50% win ratio. And if you, by coincidence, just lose 1 right here instead of losing 3 and win 2, you already passed the account. It's that simple. But let's just do the recalculation for phase 2, which has a 5% profit split, so people won't cope and say it's untrue to what I'm saying. If we risk 2.5% per trade, it would mean we get 2.75% per trade back because 2.5% risk times 1.1 is 2.75. So 5 divided by 2.75 is 1.81, which, let's round it up, 2 trades. It'll take you 2 trades to pass phase 2, which is, excuse me, I just lost my train of thought there. So let's round it up to 2 trades to pass phase 2. With 2 trades per week, on average, that will take you 1 week in total to pass week 2. So I see that I have a little typo right here because this one takes 2 weeks and then this one takes 1 week. So this one takes 3 weeks in total. So that will be 21 days. And then this 10 would be plus 21, which makes this 31. So let me just fix these right quick. 31 plus 15 makes it 45. So 2 more weeks on top of makes this 59 then, correct? Or not? I hope so. And then 2 weeks on top of that will make this 73. It might have been clickbait, my title, I guess, because now the calculations are wrong. But let's go through it again together. So it is not wrong. This will take 2 weeks, 14 days. Road to first payout. So 14 days, from 10 days, we have 3 weeks on top of that, 31 days. Now the next one, we calculated together. So keep me accountable. So scaling to 14,000 a month. So we finally have our 100,000 funded account and we're ready to trade. For easiness sake, let's see how easy it is to achieve 10,000 a month with enough funding capital if we get an 80% profit split. That means we need to divide our target of 10,000 per month by 0.8, which gives us a result of 12,500. In this table below, I've shown you the percent return you need per month to achieve our goal of 10,000 net profit per month. Now, I won't go through everything, but I'll just go through, for example, on a 200,000 account, you only need 6.25% a month for 10,000 net profits. Isn't that crazy? And people still don't understand the leverage we get with these prop firms. Like they are truly a blessing if you know how to trade. So on a 400,000 account, you only need 3.125%. It is so insane. Are you telling me you can make 3% a month? Come on now, wake up. You gotta stack these accounts and enjoy life. Get a little profit split of 1 to 2%, scale it up, and bro, these payouts, they hit like crack. And you're gonna feel on top of the world every single week because you'll be requesting payouts every single week. I gotta put these payouts in my calendar because I forget to request them at times. Because I forget how, like, you gotta have a whole scaling system and such, and that will change your life. That's a little gem I'm gonna drop here. Excuse me. That's a gem for the people that already make payouts. If you don't make payouts yet, just focus on the first account. Alright. So you should be able to hit 10K a month, getting 3.125% on a 400,000 account. It's that simple. And that is also max allocation on FTMO. So let's aim for that and we'll use that as our example. So our goal on the first account is to make the payout necessary to buy an extra 300,000 in funding. We'll get a refund of $515 on our first payout, and a 100,000 account will cost $633 per account after the first account because FTMO has some deal on the first account that is cheaper or something. So 633.91 times 3, because we need 3 accounts, is a nearly 2K investment. Well, 1,900 investment. If we continue trading our model based on 1.1 RR average return per trade and 2 trades per week, it'll mean we'll have a profit of 4.4%. And I want to repeat it again for the geeks, on average, on the long run. Because I know the smart people that run simulations that go a bit deeper, because I went a bit deeper into this and I have ran countless of simulations figuring out the most optimal scaling system. So I understand you guys, but for easiness sakes, come on, let's realize that this, in the long run, it will even out to this. Now, 1% risk time 1.1, because we make 1.1 RR per trade, times 4 trades in total, which is 2 weeks, because it takes 2 weeks since first trade. The first trade you set on your FTMO account to get a payout is 4.4%. And guys, I know you can say like commissions, spreads, bloody blue. Bro, if you go in my journal and you journal trades properly and you know your minimum RR, you will see your minimum RR is probably not even 2 and a bit higher. So you can aim for more than 2 RR, which then covers the commission and spreads, blah. And if you use my journal, you can see your high probability trades don't go deep into drawdown. So does that mean you can choke your stop loss? Did Oscay just give some more sauce? Yes, I did, as per usual. You already know I'm rocking. So we were here, I think. So 4.4% on a 100,000 account is 4,400. And we get an 80% profit split of 4.4K, which is 3,520. We add our refund of $500 on top of that, which makes it precisely, well, $515 on top of that, which makes it precisely $4,035, excuse me, net profit in your bank account, allowing you to buy 3 more 100,000 accounts and scale once more. So you get that blue certificate like who? Like Oscay. Like this is beautiful. This was the first goal of mine in trading. Well, not really a goal. It was just a quote unquote dream. And now it's just reality. That's how crazy life is. And I'm giving y'all the sauce right now. Man, I wanted to make this video in 20 minutes and we're 34 minutes in. Y'all getting the sauce. So like, comment, share, and subscribe. And join the mentorship if you don't want to stay like a broke bit. Because we making demo money around here. We are no bit. Alright. So this will take 2 more weeks, 14 days. And now I gotta fix this because I forgot. So 31 plus 14 is 45. Okay, this is correct. Now I'm gonna go through it a bit quicker because it is just repeating what we already know. If you don't understand, rewatch the document, rewatch the video, read the document in your own time and write it in your own language, in your own words, your own understanding, your own capital that you can buy, and then you will have some peace of mind. Because if you don't plan, like Brian Tracy, one of the people I consider my mentor. What did he say? He said like, fail to plan is plan to fail. That's a banger. Shout out Brian Tracy. So if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Because if you don't even have a plan for your future, how are you gonna scale? It does not make any sense. Wake up, y'all. Wake up. Come on, wake up. Alright, so then we add 2 more weeks to pass the remaining 300,000 in funding, while simultaneously making another 4.4% profit on our 100,000 account. That means we'll make an additional 3,520 and we'll pass 300,000 in funding. Now that's something beautiful, right? So even at the end, I call this video how to make 14K a month. But based on the bi-weekly payouts, you can even make more per month. But I'm going to keep it simple because if I put a bigger number, it's going to look unrealistic. So even though the calculations are based on averages, I over-delivered on the vid because you can easily make more than 14K. Now, at last, we make 4.4% on all funded accounts combined, which is 400,000 in funding, which gives us 17,600 in profits. And we back 80% of that, which is $14,080. Voila, 14K per month. That's how we roll. That's how we rock. That's, man, I just give y'all sauce. Take it and run. So, actually, let's check this. 31 plus 14 is 45, and then 45 plus 2 more weeks is 59 days, and then 59 plus 2 more weeks is 14 days, so total 73 days. Now, I know after you do the KYC, blah, 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 it takes a while to get the account. After you request a payout, you have to wait for your other live account, etc. These minute details have not been added in this. You can take it and add it in your own, but this is just a broad video so you guys can finally wake up and realize that trading is not that complicated. It is just probabilities, creating a model, sticking to the probabilities, and enjoying life. Because I came into this for freedom. 2 trades per week is more than enough for me because I make more than all these fake, fat, overweight gurus scamming y'all. So now you have a blueprint that you can just copy paste and enjoy your life. Now I want to repeat, this is obviously an ideal scenario. It might take longer or shorter. So I even over delivered because maybe you'll pass phase 1 in two wins and then you'll pass it in the minimum trading days. You know what I mean? But it goes, so the calculations are based on averages, but it just goes to show that it is possible. This proves that it never was a capital issue, but clearly a skill issue for most, and a sexy beast issue because y'all ugly. Okay. Alright. So if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna put my 1-hour psychology guide on this video right now. So if you see that on the screen, you better watch that. That will truly change your life. It took me weeks to prepare, and it's a 1-hour long masterclass. Man, I love y'all. No Diddy. Stay elevating, stay ascending, stay grinding. You already know how I'm rocking. Oscay out. Peace.